Hi, my name is Charlie Dugdale and I am the current interim head of the School of Law and Society.
My name is Michael Pugh and I lecture in commercial law practice.
My name is Joanne Thompson and I'm a lecturer in law here at St Mary's.
I'm Charisse. I am subject lead for student experience. I'm also one of the senior lecturers in law.
I went to college in hospitality. I used to run various hospitality venues like pubs and clubs. And then I went into manufacturing in Peugeot for 11 years and wanted to do something with my brain. So I did an A-level law at night school, was intrigued with criminal law and decided to go back to university and did a full-time degree at the age of 36. I went to bar school, wanted to become a barrister, then decided halfway through I did not want to become a barrister, but I enjoyed doing the learning. But I also was teaching people that were younger than me some of these aspects that they didn't understand, and I actually quite enjoyed that teaching part of it, so that's why I came into academia.
I didn't start off intending to be a lawyer. I did a degree in French and Russian. When I started working in my first job, which was in Ukraine, I was working with a lawyer. And whenever there was a problem, what I found really interesting was that Alex would say, "Is there a contract?" And it was almost like revealing the magic for unpicking problems. And I thought, having done an arts degree, it would be really interesting to learn the discipline of law.
So from a very early age, I started representing my country. I'm from Barbados in the Caribbean, and I became our president for our National Youth Council. And that really sparked an interest in me to represent people who couldn't represent themselves. And one way to do that was through law. So I did my undergraduate studies. Then I went to what we call law school in Trinidad, which was another 2 years. Then I segued a little bit out of practice to do my master's in human rights and criminal justice. I then went back to the Caribbean and I got called to the bar as a barrister and solicitor, so I am qualified as an attorney. And then I was at the United Nations in the Caribbean for a little while, and then I went into the NGO sector. I went to work for an NGO, but in the Supreme Court of Belize. After that, there were questions I wanted to answer, and that led me to doing my PhD in anti-human trafficking. Then I came to St Mary's.
Before I became a lecturer, I was in the police force for 10 years and I did everything from working on community policing teams to answering 999 calls to being on a specialist interviewing team. When I was working in the police, I was in and out of court all the time. And I was working with barristers day in, day out. And I thought, do you know what? I could probably do that. In the communities that I have lived in and the people that I grew up with, not everyone has a fair crack at the whip when it comes to law. And I really wanted to help my community, to help my friends, and to make sure that access to justice was available to everyone. So I decided to retrain. I began studying for an undergrad in my 30s as a single parent. So I worked my way through my degree, my master's, and fell into lecturing.
I suppose one of the most unusual ones was going on an investment roadshow with Credit Suisse and a load of banks to Krasnoyarsk in Siberia. And the local administration put on some hospitality for us in the evening, which involved us sitting under the moon with a shaman banging a drum in the middle of nowhere by some salt lakes.
Being involved in a murder case, a beheading case in Belize that ended up bringing in the FBI, police officers with AK-47 every day, and that was 6 months of my life. That for me was memorable.
Even though I didn't want to become a barrister, I think the proudest moment was when I did get called to the Middle Temple, and after that I actually started doing a master's in law as well.
One of the proudest moments of my career today is graduating, getting a degree, working in law in 3 words: varied, exciting, fun.
Hard work, I'll treat that as 1 word, rewarding and inspiring.
Interesting, demanding, fulfilling.
Energizing, stimulating, problem solving as 1 word, if possible, as we lawyers are always trying to haggle.